What's up, everybody, and welcome to Truthcast TV. Hope everybody's having a wonderful, wonderful hump day. I hope everybody's in a great mood. Hope everybody's feeling good. Because if we get over this hump, it's all downhill from there, right? Not really. Anyway, let's get down to the brass tacks right here. American Medical Association calls for full vaping ban. Keep nicotine products out of the hands of young people. But they don't give a shit if the young kids pick up a cigarette and start smoking, huh? Apparently not, because all of this heat that's been put on vaping has took away from how many millions and hundreds of millions of lives tobacco has ruined. That's exactly what this does. So if the American Medical Association gets what they want and they have an outright ban on vaping, even though it's saved millions of lives, even though it's helped millions, tens of millions of people quit smoking, if they had an outright ban on vaping, well, I guess all of them people that are using vaping to quit smoking would have to turn towards the cigarette companies, the same ones that has ruined their lives and many, many other people's lives. They would have to turn to them to look for a product to get off of cigarettes with. That could be why the American Medical Association is calling for that ban. You know, the big tobacco companies could be pouring millions and millions and millions of dollars into the American Medical Association and the CDC and the FDA and a lot of other organizations in America. And that could be why all this heat's being put on vaping and none on the tobacco industry, huh? Anyway, and I just want to say this. I was a 22 plus year smoker. I started smoking when I was 10, started inhaling when I was like 11. I was a full-fledged smoker by the time I was 12 and a half, 13 years old. I was smoking a pack a day. And in 2010, I heard of vaping, but I didn't try it till 2015. And I didn't really get into it till about 2016. And I haven't smoked but a total of maybe a pack of cigarettes since 2016. And I was up to 2.5, 3 packs a day. 2 to 3 packs a day, just for sake of argument. I was up to 2 to 3 packs of cigarettes a day. Couldn't hardly breathe. I was, I couldn't taste things as well as I do now. I didn't have as much energy. I mean, there's a lot that smoking cigarettes will do to you that you wouldn't realize until it was pointed out to you, because you're so addicted to them. That I was so addicted to them when I would run out of cigarettes, I would get cigarettes out of the ashtray that me and other people had put out and start smoking them. That's how bad it was. I haven't smoked a cigarette in a full year. In a full 13 months, I haven't, and like I said, from 2015 to 2019, I've smoked maybe 40 cigarettes since then, but I haven't touched a cigarette in the past year plus. So, I owe it all to vaping. If it wasn't for vaping, I tried the gum back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I tried the patches and all of that shit. That's junk. You get sick off the patches, you get sick off the gum, you end up relapsing, and then going right back to smoking. And, you never hear about the side of vaping that's good. You never hear about the millions of people who were 20, 30, 40 year smokers who's tried 100 million times to quit. Cold turkey, gum, patches, Wellbutrin, them stupid ass pills that can cause suicidal thoughts, nightmares, all grades of shit. And the only thing to get them off cigarettes was vaping. You never hear about that side of it. So I figured I would just throw that in there, but I digress. Washington. The American, and this is from this is from USA Today. The American Medical Association and the state of New York put vaping companies on notice Tuesday in the wake of President Donald Trump's apparent retreat from federal action against flavored electronic cigarettes. Even President Trump must have come to his senses. I mean, More than 2 months after saying he would ban flavored vaping products other than menthol tobacco and facing heavy opposition, Trump has not said what, if anything, he plans to do. His administration says the rulemaking process is ongoing, but the ban expected by now is thought to be on hold while the administration considers next steps. The Washington Post and the New York Times reported over the weekend Trump was convinced to back off the plan because he could lose voters in 2020. Or maybe he just got some right advice. Maybe he's finally talking to some people who, don't have the tobacco company's best interests at hand, you know. But I digress. In critical respects, he is getting bad political advice and bad public health advice, said Matthew Myers, president of Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. A flavor ban won't cost him votes, but backing down probably will because only 3.2% of Americans use e-cigarette products, and a lot more parents are terrified about the effects on their kids, and they vote too. Now, who in the hell's doing this poll, I wonder? Only 3.2% of Americans use e-cigarette products. I would say more about 20 and 30%, but, I digress. I wonder who's doing them polls. Meanwhile, the American Medical Association called for a total ban of all e-cigarettes and vaping products on Tuesday. It's simple. We must keep nicotine products out of the hands of young people, AMA President Dr. Patrice A. Harris said in a statement. Then why don't we just ban cigarettes too then? Because let me tell you something. It's a whole lot harder for a little kid, a teenager, to go out here and get a vaporizer, buy a vaporizer, because vaping's quite expensive. It's a whole lot harder for him to go get the money to buy a vaporizer and to buy the juice and to buy the cools and the cotton and all of that stuff than it is for him to just get a cigarette out of his mom and dad's pack of cigarettes, or just to pick one up off the ground where somebody lit it up and then put it out, halfway before, I mean, that's exactly how I started smoking cigarettes. I would pick the cigarettes up that my mom would throw down on the ground when she would go into a gas station, and I would take a couple puffs off of it. I'd be like right behind her, and I'd pick it up, take a couple puffs, throw it back down. But, I think it's a whole lot easier for kids to get a hold of tobacco than it is vaping products. Because vaping's not cheap. Cigarettes, it costs a kid nothing to pick a cigarette up and try it. Nothing. Literally, they can pick one up off the ground. You can't pick vaporizers up off the ground. People's not throwing them away every day, leaving them laying around there. But anyway, I digress. Also Tuesday, New York General Latia James, or whatever the hell her name is, announced a lawsuit against Juul Labs, claiming the company illegally marketed flavored e-cigarettes to teenagers. Congressional lawmakers also added the issue pushing for outright bans on vaping or limits on flavored products. The House Energy and Commerce scheduled a markup for Tuesday on legislation that would ban flavors and online sales of all tobacco products, and also raise the age to purchase vape products to 21. Meyer, who was among those who still hope the administration will act, praised the legislative effort. He said it's not beyond question the bill could pass the House by the end of the year. While he said the Senate is harder to predict given the presidential's initial support, it would be a mistake to say he has no support in the Senate. The bill's prohibition on the flavored tobacco products, including flavored e-cigarettes and menthol cigarettes, is especially critical to stop tobacco companies from continuing to target and addict kids with enticing flavors, Myers said. And at the state level, Michigan and Massachusetts are among those who have temporarily banned flavored vaping products. The Massachusetts State House passed a permanent flavor ban last week, and its Senate may vote Wednesday. New York City may vote on a citywide ban next week. While those who flavor vaping ban says Trump is bowing in the face of political pressure, administration officials said they are still working on the issue. President Trump and the administration are committed to responsibly protecting the health of the children, said White House spokesman Judd Deere. At this time, we are in an ongoing rulemaking process, and I will not speculate on the final outcome. Paul Blair, director of strategic initiatives with Americans for Tax Reform, said he provided the White House and Trump's campaign with the data behind an editorial he wrote contending that banning flavored e-cigarettes must cost Trump re-election. Blair said Trump and his aides weren't prepared for the political blowback of a proposed ban, and reassessing as the nation continues to grapple with an outbreak of vaping-related lung illnesses first reported in the spring. The number of cases and deaths have climbed each week. As of November 13th, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention reported 2,172 people injured and 42 dead. The CDC has linked injuries to vitamin E acetate used as a thickening agent or to dilute THC oil in vape cartridges to make it go further. THC is an ingredient in cannabis that creates the high. Most of the people with vaping illnesses also use nicotine-based electronic cigarettes. New federal numbers showing a big uptick in middle and high school vaping also has added new pressure for regulations. In the past 2 months, the White House has been bombarded by vaping supporters who said a ban would be a mistake. Greg Conley, president of American Vaping Association, said Trump's lack of action is at least a temporary victory. Oh, well, and I mean, you know. Let's ban vaping, but fuck cigarettes. We'll keep them legal, and as long as they keep pouring millions and millions of dollars into our pockets, we'll just keep shut on that. I mean, wow, that's what it sounds like to me. Y'all let me know. Do y'all think they should ban vaping? And if so, do you think they should ban tobacco as well? And do you think they would ban tobacco? I don't think so. Too much money being put into people's pockets to do that. But yeah, I think it's total bullshit. And no, I don't think children should vape. I think the only time anybody should vape is if they've got a cigarette habit that they're trying to kick. And then once you're done kicking that habit, you should stop vaping. Now, did I? No, I continued on vaping. But could I quit a lot easier than I could from cigarettes? Yes. While I'm vaping, I have no breathing issues. I can run, jog, I can do any workout, whatever. And I have no breathing issues. When I was smoking cigarettes, I couldn't say the same. So that's all I'm saying. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, please go to my channel and click that subscribe button, because YouTube is not going to recommend my content. They're not going to help me gain subscribers. They're not going to help me gain views. They're not going to help me at all, because they do not like the content that I post. And well, I need y'all's help. So go to my channel, click that subscribe button. And to all my subscribers, much love. Thank you very much for supporting me. Tell all your friends and family to go click that subscribe button and help my channel grow so I catch the truth to as many people as possible. And the truth is, vaping is way, way healthier than tobacco. So before they ever think about banning vaping, they should ban tobacco first. Just saying. Hope everybody has a great hump day. And, well, remember, stay woke. And until next time, I'm out.